Hello! Thank you for watching today's Proxy Avoidance Protection demo from Sangfor Technologies. Protection from proxies is achieved using Sangfor NGAF, working with Sangfor Endpoint Secure to block proxies and VPN software running on endpoints. Today we will demonstrate how NGAF integrates with Endpoint Secure and how to create and enforce security policies to block proxies or proxy avoidance tools. Let's look at the network topology for this demo. As you can see, we usually deploy NGAF at the edge of the network, deploy Endpoint Secure Manager on the intranet, and install the Endpoint Secure Protection Agent on the PC. Now let's take a look at the risks to an organization from proxy tools and how these tools work together. Proxy agents commonly open an enterprise up to several risks. They allow users to bypass the network security perimeter undetected. Proxies allow malicious content like viruses, phishing, ransomware, spyware, and crypto miners undetected access to the internal network, leading to data theft. Proxies enable bandwidth abuse and corporate compliance violations. Internet bandwidth is expensive, and unauthorized use can drain bandwidth from business-critical applications like e-commerce. Let's see how proxy tools work. Some proxy tools allow for anonymous use without the need for a registered account or password. You can see that this proxy tool automatically opens a web page displaying your current IP address. This IP address indicates where traffic passes through your remote proxy server, not the actual user IP address. Now, we will demonstrate how to configure anti-proxy policies to block anti-proxy tools. First, we must configure the Endpoint Secure Manager. By default, Endpoint Secure does not allow access from other devices. Before NGAF can access Endpoint Secure, we need to enable the device access option on the Endpoint Secure Manager. Now that the device access permissions have been enabled on Endpoint Secure, it's time to configure NGAF. To configure Endpoint Secure integration, we enter the IP address of the Endpoint Secure Manager. The next step is to configure the anti-proxy policy. The Endpoint Application Control Policy configuration and Application Control Policies are on the same page. Here we choose to configure the Endpoint Application Control Policy by selecting the corresponding source IP and the application that needs to be blocked. Endpoint Secure Policy is now configured. Now we verify the effect of the anti-proxy policy. Here we can see that after the anti-proxy policy was pushed to the protection agent, the proxy tool that was running was automatically closed. Next, we will manually run the proxy tool. We can see that the proxy tool was blocked by Endpoint Secure and can't start. Here, Endpoint Secure has issued a pop-up warning box to indicate that the proxy tool has been shut down. Finally, let's take a look at the Endpoint Secure Log. Endpoint Secure's manager keeps logs of proxy tools that have been blocked, and you can see that Endpoint Secure then forwards the event to NGAF. NGAF, you can see the PC running processes reported by the Endpoint Secure Manager. You can also see in the logs of any blocked proxy tools. Thank you for joining us to discover how Sangfor NGAF and Endpoint Secure work together to protect enterprise networks from the risk of proxies. Contact Sangfor for more information and let Sangfor make your IT simpler, more secure, and valuable.